3 unnatural deaths, all women, police investigating. Barbados to ban single-use plastic starting April. And in sports, Captain Holder sounds the battle cry of consistency ahead of the first test.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the CBC Evening News. On our top story, 3 women dead in 2 days. That's the startling news that Barbadians heard as they started to settle into their daily routines following the long holiday weekend. Our Lisa Broom has been following those developments and joins us live from the News Center. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Lisa. Thank you very much. And you're right, we do have the latest on those stories, beginning with the situation at Northumberland in St. Lucie. Now, by the time we arrived there, police from several branches had already converged on the scene. They had also secured the perimeter, forcing us to take in all that was going on from a distance. When we arrived on the scene, members of the forensic unit and detectives were hard at work. They'd been alerted around 9:15 that a car had been abandoned. And for several hours, they combed this bushy area at Northumberland in St. Lucie, looking for clues about how the unidentified body and the vehicle got there.
Police received a report of an abandoned car with a body near it. On arrival, police discovered the lifeless body of an unidentified adult female laying on its back next to the car. The body had some wounds and investigations are continuing.
Well, the area in which the body was located was quite a distance away from the main road and elevated, as the acting station sergeant confirms.
The information that we got came from a resident in the area. So the road is pretty lonesome, but there are residents within the area who traverse the area from time to time.
After police wrapped up their investigation of the area, personnel from 2 Sons took the body away and a police tow truck removed the vehicle. Well, Lisa, we also went into River Bay in St. Lucie, which isn't very far from the scene in Northumberland. And it was in this general area that you're seeing now in the video where lawmen found the body of the other female. That was yesterday, of course, and she was discovered about 20 minutes to 6 in the evening. Now, regarding that discovery, the acting station sergeant says they'll need help to come up with an identity.
Was wearing a blue short pants and a greenish tube top, but we are still carrying out investigations to establish her identity.
Meanwhile, police have released the name of the elderly woman killed at the Vauxhall Senior Citizens Village around 10 minutes past 6 yesterday evening. She was 69-year-old Martha Agatha, that is, Doyle, a former resident who lived at Unit 3A in the village. Now, reports indicate that she received a laceration to her throat and she died from the injury. Now, the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs has launched an internal investigation into her death. Minister Cynthia Ford, who has expressed regret about the incident, says as they await the outcome of the investigation, immediate steps have been taken to provide counseling for the residents and staff. Now, she adds that even further steps will be taken to safeguard all at that facility.
We will continue now to put other measures in place to ensure that those who are working here, those who are living here, their relatives and friends and others will have every confidence that they're in a safe haven and that this odd one, as I said so many times before, does not occur here again or anywhere else under our watch, indeed, and anywhere else in Barbados. We take our roles very seriously, and in the light that we have developed under the the current administration to look after and to establish an elder affairs department, it says how seriously this government is looking after the care and the protection of our citizens as they go into their twilight years.
Well, the minister says she's also been assured by the Royal Barbados Police Force that they were pleased with the response of the security on site. The Vauxhall Senior Citizens Village is home to 38 residents, 19 of them men and 19 women. They're all aged 46 to 83 years old. It provides housing for independent living as well as people who require assistance. Now, Lisa, we understand that a man is assisting police with their investigations into that incident at the Vauxhall Senior Citizens Village. But for the other matters, they're appealing to anyone with information on any of the incidents to call them. People can call the District E Police Station at 419-1730 or 37, the emergency number at 211, the police hotline at 429-8787, or of course there is Crime Stoppers, and that number is 1-800-TIPS. That is 1-800-8477. And we can tell you that we will continue to follow these stories as they develop. Back to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Well, government has officially announced plans to ban the importation, sale and use of single-use plastic products. The announcement came from Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, Kirk Humphrey, during a press conference this morning. Our Sharika Griffith has that story.
In just a few short weeks, getting lunch in a styrofoam container will be a thing of the past.
As of April 1st, 2019, the importation, retail and sale of these items will no longer be allowed in Barbados. These are petrol-based single-use cups, cutlery, being knives, forks and spoons, straws, the plates, the single-use plates, egg trays, plastic and or styrofoam, and any styrofoam that is used in the culinary retail industry.
There are a few exemptions, however. Stakeholders in the poultry industry will be allowed to continue importing styrofoam containers until a suitable alternative is found. As it relates to single-use plastic bags, local manufacturers have also been given an extension to switch from petrol-based plastic bags to a more environmentally friendly alternative.
It is clear to us that the industry employs a number of persons and that even the extension to April 1st, 2019 did not allow them to make the adjustments. We've had several meetings since then, and we have determined almost as a team that the manufacturers of the single-use petrol-based plastic bags will be given until the first day in January 2020 to continue to manufacture plastic bags. But after January 1st, 2020, there will be no petrol-based plastic bags being used in Barbados either.
Meantime, Minister of the Environment, Trevor Prescott, says producers of natural juices need not worry, as the ban does not apply to plastic bottles used for that purpose.
We will have a kind of retainers legislation which will allow consumers to take them back to the suppliers. And hopefully some rewards will come from the returns, and then we will put it through a recycling process. That will be done through my ministry.
As for the penalties for people caught importing or selling the banned products after April 1st, Minister Humphrey says they are still being finalized, but he promises they will be severe. A massive public relations program is also to be rolled out in the coming weeks in an effort to get all Barbadians on board. Sharika Griffith, Cbc News.
A doing business subcommittee of cabinet is set to be established as Barbados moves to improve the ease of doing business locally. Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Marcia Cattle, says once approved, it will be supported by a competitive council,
which is a smaller subcommittee of our private sector and trade union colleagues and other parties that will make up that committee. This is not to have general discussions about productivity and general ideological and philosophical discussions about competitiveness, even though these are quite interesting to have over a drink in the evening. But these committees are to get to the business of improving these doing business rankings, not just so they look good on paper, even though that is important because that's what helps drive investment to the country, but improving these indicators so that Barbados works for Barbadians and those who want to come and live and work here.
Ms. Cattle's comments came during a stakeholder review for the Draft Planning and Development Bill 2019. It was held at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. 2 previous sessions were held last year, and this review is the final feedback on that bill. Minister Cattle says that the Town Planning Office will be a facilitator of development through the new legislation.
Development in this country has to be a conversation. And while we have to set the necessary boundaries in terms of how a regulatory body functions, the Town Planning Office and essentially the entire planning and development machinery of the government of Barbados now is empowered to move from being just a regulator to also being a facilitator.
A senior police officer is encouraging public service vehicle operators to incorporate some more positive habits into their daily operations. Assistant Superintendent of Police Elliot Bavell made that plea during a recent Transport Authority meeting. There, he lamented statistics provided by the Traffic Division of the District A Police Station, which showed over 6,000 offences by operators last year.
Excessive passengers, this is traffic alone, 440 cases. Driving the door open, 333 cases. Failure to show the badge, so disrespectful they are, 1,139 cases. Off route, over 1,000 cases. Picking up and setting up passengers on the bus stop, 830 cases. Failure to wear seatbelt. And look what is the biggest thing. Your terror. How they dress, a proper dress. 1,693 cases.
Assistant Superintendent Bavell also implored other PSV drivers to stamp out bad practices.
The only other discrepancy that we have with the big buses, and I can talk this from a personal point of view, where persons want to stop in the middle of Broad Street to drop off passengers to go to ATM. How can you do that? A big bus in the middle of Broad Street. All right, let me see how that goes in the future.
The University of the Southern Caribbean in Barbados is trying to significantly improve its enrollment numbers. This announcement from Director of the Barbados campus, George Graves. He says the university will be introducing a number of new courses geared at generating interest in what he says many referred to as the best-kept secret in Barbados.
We're going to offer a certificate in palliative care. We're going to do 2 courses in pain management generally, and pain management that's related to palliative care. We have an interesting package of programs that certificates that we want to offer that relate to business, particularly for the business community. And we want to establish some collaborations with the local businesses to be able to train and retrain their workers.
And Mr. Graves expects that the new courses will also benefit recently retrenched public servants. The university, which was established in Barbados 4 years ago, currently has a roll of 72 registered students. Now, starting next month, it will also be rolling out a number of Caribbean vocational qualification programs. TVET coordinator Shernell Furlerton believes that the 4 to 6 month courses will help address the lack of skills and poor work ethics exhibited by some people entering the workforce.
We are seeking to offer a number of qualification areas throughout this year 2019. Those areas being customer service, business administration, reception, management, food preparation, and cookery. And these will be offered at level 2, but we are hoping to move beyond level 2 and to offer level 3 training.
The president of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, wants to see a restoration of prosperity locally, and he hopes citizens will contribute to bring it to reality.
As we look forward to the upcoming events in place to celebrate this important milestone, it is my wish that prosperity would be restored to the nation, and we will all endeavor, however small, to make some contribution to the nation building and redouble our efforts in the thought, word, and deed to move our country during these difficult economic times, ever onward and upward, inspired, exalted, free.
Mr. McDowell's comments came at the union's 75th anniversary church service at the St. Matthias Anglican Church. There, he also reflected on the NUPW's successes and projects throughout the years.
The union is therefore steeped in a history of achievement and rich in legacy of service, not only when confronted with industrial relations issues, but also has been the vanguard from inception in reaching out and giving back through novel inducements, such as medical insurance to members, vision and dental fringe benefits, a membership discount card, free classes for persons wishing to do Spanish, in collaboration with the Venezuelan Institute.
Well, with over 10,000 cricket fans at Kensington Oval this week, Project Recycle has donated 50 bins to assist with the cleanup of garbage. Leslie Weeks and Paul Bridgman of Project Recycle handed over the bins in a special presentation at the Oval ahead of the first test match between West Indies and England to Ben Toppin of Kensington Oval Management Inc. In making the presentation, it was noted that Project Recycle had no hesitation in making that donation as they wish for proper disposal of garbage over the next 5 days.
We're here today to make a presentation of 50 recycling bins to the Kensington Oval Management Inc. Through this initiative, we're expecting that we will be able to collect or divert all of the recyclable waste produced at this event over the next few days. As far as we are concerned, we believe that this initiative is a huge win for recycling in Barbados, and we'd also like at this point to recognize Kensington Oval as a new recycling entity, joining the ranks of all recyclers across the region and in Barbados.
This news coming to hand. Police are currently on the scene of yet another apparent unnatural death. Reports are that an unknown man is in the road near King Garden in St. Thomas. Initial reports suggest that it may be the result of a stabbing incident, but we'll bring you more details as they become available.